Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? I hope everybody is doing fantastic. Today, I have got some Mind of Jess stuff for you. As you become more aware of things in society and the world around you, you're most likely going to begin to realize something that is called social constructs. And if you're anything like me, they're probably going to drive you a little bit crazy, just a little bit. Once you realize that they are things that we only believe because of people taking them as fact due to the society that we live in. That's kind of the definition of a social construct. What I have actually written down is a concept accepted as truth only because people agree that it is true because of the structure of society currently. And these are going to end up being things like you need money to live, or you've got to work 40 hours a week. If you get sick, you need to go to the doctor. Once you turn 18, you should move out of the house and go to college. And these seem like really solid things within the structure of today's society. But in fact, even with the structure of today's society, they're not actually true. They're more of a subjective truth rather than an objective truth. And I know most people are going to say that they are objective because everyone pretty much believes them to be true. But one good thing about this mass shift in consciousness that we have going on right now is the fact that we are actually beginning to challenge these things and showing the world that they're not true, that we can live without money, that we can go ahead and we can be successful without having a college education, that if we get sick, we don't have to go to the doctor. And it's a really fantastic thing to be able to see these people out there that are really showing us that these are subjective truths. Now, most, if not all, of the social constructs of today are fear-based. I would say if there was any other option, it would be ignorance-based. And that's not saying like people are stupid so they don't know any better or anything like that. It's just that they don't know there is a different way. They are so set into the habits and patterns and structure of society that they don't even think to question, like, what if I did it this way? Or why do they tell me it has to be done this way? Society has been carefully constructed by those in power over the last several thousand years. We could probably go all the way back to, I would say, Roman times. It's probably actually started before Roman times, but for the sake of argument, we will go ahead and we will say that that was really the catalyzing point for the society that we currently live in today. And it started with things like the formation of the church and Christianity, taxation, the disempowering of people, individuals, and putting this power into the hands of those that had money, those that were in control of the political situations at the time. And that aspect hasn't changed. We still have that today. It's just went ahead and it has evolved over the centuries. With having people that are so embedded with these thoughts, these patterns and ways of thinking that we have to live, that is where the fear base comes into play, because people end up thinking, oh, well, I have to have money to live. Well, then I have to have a job where I'm working at least 40 hours a week to be able to make X amount of money so that I can pay for X, Y, and Z. And having this stuff so embedded in us, most people have this illusion that they're free, that they have choice, and they don't go ahead and even think to question why. They don't think to go ahead and ask, well, what if I actually did it this way? Could I still survive? Could I even thrive? People are so afraid of, well, if I'm not making money, I can't survive. They're so afraid of stepping out from the construct because they think that it's just going to dismantle their life. Hey guys, so quick side note, as I'm going through and I'm editing this, I realize that I say people a lot, and I want to let you guys know I am not saying that as in I am separate from people. I have absolutely been one of those people that was stuck in these constructs, that believed in these constructs, and I of course, had a time where I didn't question them. I absolutely thought that it was completely necessary. And so I just wanted to go ahead and I wanted to let you guys know, because it was almost bugging me as I was watching it, as I'm doing my editing. And that's not the case. I am not on some pedestal. I am not different from anybody else that is out there. The only thing that has changed for me is that I am now aware of these social constructs, and I am aware of the brainwashing and the disempowerment and all of the stuff that has been embedded in me because of the current structure of society. So I just wanted to go ahead. I wanted to let you guys know on that. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. But in reality, the universe is always going to have you taken care of. And I know that is something that sounds absolutely wild to, I would say, most people in society today. They don't have faith in the universe or even in their own religious beliefs that they will be taken care of regardless. And it's also a lack of faith in humanity as a whole. And we think that we have to stay in these patterns in order to like meet the standard, the status quo. And being a person that is coming into greater awareness, it can make seeing these things really hard, especially when you are one of those people that really sees the lies that everybody else believes and clings to, like desperately clings to. And you see that it's just easier for them to go ahead and continue to accept these things, even though they're not happy, even though they are not satisfied with their lives, even though they are not thriving. It is easier for them to just go ahead and accept these things rather than challenge the status quo. And for someone like me, where my greatest dream is to actually be free of these social constructs, of this bullshit patterning, brainwashing that we are taught we have to have, we have to do, we have to be in order to have success, be happy, etc. I want to be able to step out from all of that and be able to be one of those people that completely challenges the status quo, that shows the world that you can thrive without meeting all of these societal bullshit standards and following all of the social constructs. There are a couple things that make it a little bit easier when you are in this state of evolution and development. And that is when you actually take the time to look through the fears that have created all of these social constructs, and you're able to catch a glimpse of the changing world. It is slow, but there are more and more people every single day that are challenging the status quo. They are dismantling and rewriting the social constructs. And it is absolutely fucking beautiful to see. It is inspiring. And if you're actually looking for it, there is no lack of inspiration in the world for it. There are so many people that you can find out there nowadays that are showing you, look, I've done this. You can do this too. You have the power, you have the knowledge, you have the ability to go ahead and break free of these lies that you have been told and just taken as truth. You can step out of that. You can completely rewrite all of that brainwashing that we have had done to us since the day we were born. These people that are stepping out from it, that are challenging the status quo, they are, as individuals, taking back their power. They are relearning knowledge that our ancestors had. And they are finding the real objective truths in today's world, like the ones that are true regardless of the structure of society. And they are tearing down these flat out stupid beliefs that have been forced upon us for anywhere from decades to centuries. Being aware enough to peer through the looking glass and catch glimpses of this is so empowering. Like I said, it's completely inspiring. Seeing more and more hearts and minds and souls coming online every single day, seeing that the world is not what we've been told, that it doesn't have to operate the way that we've been told it has to operate, realizing that we are the creators of the future and not those that have led us into a pit of snakes. They are not the creators. They are just as much slaves as we are. They are just the ones that get to go ahead and pull the cords and make the rules and pass the judgments. But it doesn't make them free. And ironically, now the joke is on them, because the snakes that they threw us into pits with are transformational. They are literally a symbol of transformation. And as a society, we are beginning to shift. We are beginning to make that change, that transformation into a stage of human beings of greater awareness, of greater consciousness. And we are beginning to form society in a whole new light. So even though the social constructs absolutely drive me crazy, and I hate having to see so many people just dead stuck in them, over the next several decades, we're going to see this change completely. People are going to be able to actually live free. People are really going to be able to start thriving and living in purpose again. And that is just absolutely fucking beautiful. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on social constructs. I want to know what the ones are that you have began to see and realize that they are not true. And I want to know if you guys have plans for being able to break free from these social constructs. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Leave me a like. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. leave me a comment. The more you interact with me, the more I'm able to give to you guys. Thank you so much. Much love.